Welcome into another lesson. Today we're going to look at Boston Crusaders 2024 snare break. So in about 20 minutes, I'm going to have you playing this. So I'm pretty confident. A lot of you guys watched that and thought, yeah, I could probably do that. So grab your sticks, grab your pad, and let's get stuck straight in. First bar, we've got single stroke 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're in triplets here. I've written it 12/8, but we're just thinking triplets. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3. We'll take one of those notes out and it gives us this. So we're going to come in on count 3. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the 1. 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the 1. All up. 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the 1. Last time. 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the 1. Right, let's have a look at the first real bar where we start to play this. What I've done in this, right, I've written it 12/8, which is essentially 4/4. What we're going to do though is easier to learn if we learn it as a bar of 3 and then followed by a bar of 5. So in this case, I'm going to notate it as, what will it be, 9 and 15. So we're going to learn the first 9 notes, which is going to give us this. But we've got to feel that as triplets. We're playing a right hand and a left hand, then we're doing a flam tap 3, a right-handed 1, and then 2 flam taps off the left hand, which brings us back to the left hand. Now it's not a flam to release, it's a single stroke. So now they play this insanely fast. We're going to learn it real slow down at about 125 beats a minute. The main thing is that you get the feel of the triplets while practicing this. Let's put the metronome on. So that's the join in. Now if I was to finish the bar out, I can't speak and play, if I was to finish the bar out in 4/4, I'd get, so you can see that flam drag finishes the bar out. However, we're going to think of that playing across the bar line is the start of a bar. So we're going to play float flam drags. Float flam drags are simply flam drags with an extra drag in there. So those end up being groups of 5 notes. So what we're going to do in this case is we're not actually going to play float flam drags fully. We're going to add an extra note on the end to make 6. So we're going to get, now off the left hand as well. So we get that loop. Now there's a little bit of an accent on that right hand on the way around, but I wouldn't stress too much because when they're playing this fast, it's real quick, all right? So if we try playing 2 of those, the last note that I played my right hand is actually, if you look at the notation, going to be a rim shot, and then the release of this was going to be a left hand, so we're going to get. We'll just play that with the metronome, starting the downbeat. And. Now to finish that bar out, we've got to go, which is a left hand bounce triplet, left, right, left, left, right, left. However, we're pressing in that first note. So that's after that rim shot. So if I put it together, 3, 4, 3, 4. Oops, and again. 3, 4. 3, 4. So I'm going to try the whole of the line. I'm going to come in on count 2. So I've got 1, 2, count 3 I believe. 1, 2. So try and get that in your head. 3, 4, 1, 2. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So we might need to Pause here. Maybe I'll drop a little advert in here so you can practice that a whole bunch of times. You've got to get that in your head real tight before you can move on. The next line starts with left, right, left, and then right, left, left, right. So we're getting... However, you can see we've got these little presses in there again. So we're actually going to get that motion there. Now the second half of that bar, we start with the right hand, then we do a left-handed flam tap, and then a flam tap 3 off the right hand. We end with a left hand single, so that's going to go like that. Now they do lift up on this particular part. The rest of it is all really low, or using the rebound of the head rather than playing through that head. So this whole bar would go. Now at tempo, it's real quick, right? So don't be lifting too high. Let's do that again at 125. 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Next bar. This next bar sounds like that. But what I want to think about here is what we're aiming for, the sound that we're aiming for. So if I take away those accents and I make it all just hand to hand, we get. I'll play it full out so you can really feel that rhythm. So learn that. And then when you learn the actual part, which is a little more difficult, you've got a reference in your head. So if I then show the actual part, you can see we start with a left-handed tap 5. Now this is where it gets interesting, because this next part was the... And it will sound like that. However, the sticking is going right, double, left, double, right, double, and release. So we're going... Now, if the snare breaker had been at this speed, they probably would have played it loud, but it's so quick. It's really low, so don't bring those accents loud. Leave them nice and low. So I join those together. Then I'm getting a left and then a paradiddle to finish. So, which will sound a bit like a tap 5. So the bar this bit took me a little while to figure out, right? So my hands have got to do this lots and lots and lots of times before it became natural sticking. Let's try doing it again, 125. Try to hold that line now from the 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Last time, 3, 4. So let's move on to this final line. Now this final line, again, has got some of these little sort of presses going on, things like that. But we've got, when I say presses, I'm talking these kind of press rolls almost. So we start off with a pattern that sounds like tap 5, right? However, it's, which is a left hand followed by what we call a grandma, which is a paradiddle, paradiddle stop, all the lefts are up, paradiddle stop. So we've got the interpretation of that should be the same as a tap 5. Then we're into a tap 5. So the interpretation you're after is do that with a minute. 2, 3, 4. Pace nice and low. Then we're just going to go. So it's just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, but all low. So that adds on. Again, this is one of those parts. It's easier at real tempo, right? So. In fact, it's quicker than that. A real quick one. Now, to get the speed of that roll, you're going to have to do something called speedo, which is essentially keeping our sticks in this position here, a downwards position, and pressing up and down like this, rather than letting the sticks turn like this. So we're using a lot more of our arm here. We're also getting a little bit of tension on our fingers just using the rebound of the head. And it'll actually be easier on the head than it is on a practice pad because we'll get that little bit more rebound. Very low. And fast. Now this next bit, I'm probably not the right person to teach this, right? Because I am not good at these yet. 4s with one hand. Boston love these, right? What they're doing here is they're playing a single stroke 7 essentially. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think of hickory, dickory, dock, but they're playing 2 rights. Hickory, dickory, and a room shot to release. So we're going 2 and 4 and 1. However, it's nowhere near that speed, right? It's crazy fast. So what we're having to do is we're having to use the rebound again, a bit like this, of the head, to dig out a 4. So it's kind of control rebound. And like I said, I'm not great at these yet, right? So now I, at the moment, am trying to toy with using this first finger to kind of control a little bit of the 4. So I'm not playing, I'm just literally controlling how much I squeeze to try and get 4 notes. Now it's really low, and you'll find it's actually easier to play if you play it low. Now what I'm trying to emulate here is a roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with a release on. So I want that sound, but 4 of them are left hand. I'm getting closer, but I need to work on that, right? How do you work on this stuff? Well, the same way as you learn everything else you've ever learned on jumps. You've got to do that literally thousands and thousands and thousands of times. Eventually, if they can do it, you can do it. Now, that's hard to do at this slow tempo because we can't use the rebound of the head at 125, right? So the last part's going to sound messy. Don't worry about that, right? You're going to find the best thing to do is to learn the exercise at 125 so you memorize it. Then when you take it up to 150, 68, wherever you're going to, then you can start to use the right techniques to get that 4. So the final line, I'm not going to pull out that 4, but I'm going to try. 3, 2, 3, 4. So I think we're just about ready to try the whole thing. They play this something like 175, 180 beats per minute, right? It is very, very quick. This has taken me a good amount of time to be able to play at that speed, all right? So don't go rushing through this. We're going to go 125 so we get the interpretation, or in fact, that's not true. We're going to go 125 so that we get it in our head. Then we'll go, say, 155 so we can start to work on interpretation, and then it's down to you to work between that 155 and that 175 or 180. I'll play it for you about 175 as a demonstration. Let's start down low, though. Let's go for this 125. So remember, we're coming on count 3. So 1, 2, 3. Here we go. 1, 2. speed, all right? Let's take it up straight away. I think about that, 155. Let's see if I can do that. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Again, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Let's do it on again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So the reason I keep putting faces at the end is I keep accidentally doing 2 of the grandmas, and it's not 2 grams. It's not. It's at slow speeds is making me do that, right? Anyway, no excuses. So let's try playing it at real tempos there, right? 175. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Hopefully, that's good enough for you to be able to copy and to be able to master this. So, quick question. Who's winning drums this year then? Can Boston hold off? Keep the Blue Devils? Who else is behind them? Bluecoats? Can they stave them off at the end of the season? It's going to be an interesting end to the season. Let's see. Leave your comments below. Let me know if there's anything you'd like me to teach you. I always wait until the end of the season to start teaching snare breaks and parts from the shows because they change. This one here has already changed. That end section was insane before. It was actually, instead of just playing... There's some singles in there to make it even harder, right? This time of year, you're going to see drum lines hosing those parts, making sure everything is perfectly clean so they can try and hold on to those top positions. Thanks for watching. I'll be back again real soon with a lesson. See you then.